Hey everyone, Shadow Streak here. How's it going, guys? Notice anything different about me? So first and foremost, I guess I should just start with the elephant in the room. I'm using live action footage for the very first time on my channel. I've never really done this before. So this is probably quite a surprise to a lot of you guys, and right off the bat, I just want to say I apologize if there's any major errors with my setup or anything like that. This is the first time I'm ever really doing this, but since I'm doing a, 3-year reaction video type thing, I'm not going to be using my little avatar guy that I used in all my videos. Instead, I'm just going to have this footage here in the bottom corner of the screen so that you can see me reacting live as opposed to just, kind of editing it to audio, because I figured that wouldn't really translate too well. Like I said, this is my 3-year anniversary video. I'm reacting to videos that you guys voted on, specifically the top 10 most voted for videos that you guys wanted to see me react to. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I apologize if my camera goes out of focus at all at any point in this video as well. I'm using my cell phone because I don't have a super high-tech DSLR camera. Yeah, but other than that, I think we're pretty much good to go. I hope you like my Spider-Verse t-shirt because, I'm a pretty big fan of Miles Morales, and Spider-Verse is a great movie. Go watch it if you haven't seen it yet. Anyways, let's just get right into these reactions now because I've rambled for long enough at this point. So the way I'm going to be doing these reactions is I'm basically just going to be recording my screen here so you guys can see the video as I'm reacting to it. I'm going to be jumping around and, cutting out the boring parts that aren't really interesting or whatever. And yeah, I'm going to be reacting to my videos in the order that I made them, not the order that they ranked on the top 10 list. So if you guys want to skip around or don't want to see me react to a certain video or whatever, you can check that or the pinned comment as well. I'll have timestamps in both of those so you guys can just go right for them. Okay, now that I've wasted all that time, I'm just going to hop right into this, and we are going to start with my very first video. I have not seen this video in years. I think the last time I watched through it was probably June of 2016. So let's see how this goes. Also, hopefully YouTube doesn't screw me over for copyright. Okay, first of all, this audio quality, oh my gosh. So, I'm using the same exact mic right now that I used to record this video. Oh my gosh.
Most successful show of all time. What started as a simple concept in the mind of Craig McCracken quickly became a global phenomenon. It ran on television.
Wow, I just sound like I'm reading right off of a script. Oh my gosh.
2005 with 6 full seasons, a movie, and a Christmas special under its belt. In June
I don't even have any emotion or anything. This was back when I was afraid to really emote and come out of my shell. So this is really weird to hear because this is nothing what I sound like in my current videos.
Amanda Layton's fine enough as Blossom, but has yet to impress me. And Natalie Palamide's voice just seems way too deep for Buttercup. Believe it or not though, I actually
it's funny because I actually still hold this opinion. I really think that Kristen Lee is a great voice actress for Bubbles. I don't really care for the other two that much, and I really don't like Buttercup. I'm sorry. But I think Kristen Lee does a pretty decent job. I just think that she doesn't always get the best direction. I'm sorry. I just can't get over the lack of emotion in my voice. It sounds awful. This is funny because I sped up my voice for this gag, and it doesn't even really sound that good.
Flanderization cranked up to 11. Bubbles breaks her arm because the plot demands it. An episode that's been done before. Why is any of this even happening? Retconning. An episode that's been done before. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I need to pause here for a second. Episodes that have been done before. We are in season 3 of the show. There's still some episodes that are reusing plot. So that's one thing that just never changed. I'm really curious to see how my initial impressions changed, because there's probably quite a few things that I said in this video that I'm really not expecting to hear. So in depth than what I've said here, don't get me wrong, but the general concept behind each is true. According to the
also, it's crazy to me that this video has almost 77,000 views.
Well, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but they've already done 2 of them.
It's funny. Oh my god. That quote, let me go back. Hang on.
They want to do is
age him up, put him in roller skates, and send him to Mars.
Age him up, put him in roller skates, and send him to Mars. I remember when I was making the season 1 videos, this was one of the biggest. I was so eager to get to Secret Life just so I could say, okay, they've done all 3.
Apparently, producers think that it
isn't terribly interesting in the sense that they're punching monsters and flying around.
Oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that quote. How can they say that the action in fighting monsters isn't terribly interesting? What kid on this planet doesn't think action is interesting? Like, that's terrible. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
Moving one completely kills the purpose of the other.
A lot of times, the action sequences don't move the story forward in a sense.
Yes they do. Yeah, okay, so I still hold this opinion too. Of course they move the story forward. You need the action in Powerpuff Girls. Like, it's not like it's just pointless. It serves a purpose in the show. Like, oh my gosh, it's a superhero show. The action's the entire point. Well, that and the comedy, but, you know, Powerpuff Girls is a mix of the two.
Echoing voices.
You know, that is one thing that's nice about the reboot is it's used the echoing voices a little less in season 2. It hasn't completely gone away, but it has been used a little bit less than season 1.
Subjective and everyone is different, but does anyone actually find this funny? This show gets subtle humor, right?
Okay, I don't agree with saying that. In retrospect, comedy is subjective, so, you know, what I may not find funny, someone else certainly will, and vice versa. I've tried to cut back on attacking jokes, and I really only bring it up when it's like it's just not set up well. Like if it's trying to set up for a punchline and it doesn't build to anything, or the punchline doesn't land, I'll point it out, but I'm not really overly critical like I used to be in season 1, where I just get super annoyed and irritated when there was really no reason for that.
Here's a positive for the show I'd like to point out. The core morals are actually very good. Some examples include money can't buy friendship, people mattering more than material items.
It's funny how I say this now, because in the earlier episodes there were good morals, but as we've seen in later episodes, as the show's going on, it's actually gotten worse at delivering them a lot of the time. I mean, not all the time, but it's either getting to the point where they are ham-fisted in the episode when they really don't need to be there, or, you know, it's just completely out of left field, like Memory Lane of Pain. If you guys remember that review that I did like a month or two ago, that moral had nothing to do with what happened in the episode.
There's only one concept to focus on, and that's what
this is where I'm talking about how the reboot incorporated too many concepts at once. I wouldn't say that's as big of a problem in a lot of the later episodes. It started to focus in more on, like, you know, one idea as it goes.
The three of them no longer act like younger girls. Instead, they're these preteens.
Yeah, this still kind of holds weight. I think there are moments where they act like younger girls, but there are other moments where I completely forgot. Okay, this clip, one of the best clips from Powerpuff Girls ever. The part where Mojo's just like, I quit, I'm done. 10 out of 10. Powerpuff Girls rule, such a good special. So good. I can't wait to talk about that someday.
Mojo's alright, I guess, though I hate that they got rid of his Mo language because it completely...
I still hold that opinion too. I really hate that they got rid of his Mo language.
What the heck is that?
Oh, oh my god, I forgot I did that. I completely forgot I did that. Oh my god, the rounded chin gag. How could I forget that? Oh yeah, there's the animation errors.
To try and look for them. I only ever noticed the
I disagree with that completely. You really have to try and look for them? No, because I just find them without even trying.
I definitely do not like the fact that the girls are seen from the side because
Me neither.
meant to be drawn that way.
Yeah, they were never meant to be drawn that way, but it still happens. Yeah, I still think that the credits theme to the reboot is awful. I'm sorry. I'm not the biggest music critic, but I would never listen to that. Like the main theme, pretty good, pretty catchy, but that outro theme, oh no, I'm sorry, that sounds terrible.
To be seen, and now they've either been replaced with generic tracks that don't suit the character as much, or they just don't get anything at all. All in all,
that's one thing I really miss. I forgot about that. I really miss that, and I wish that the reboot would do more with thematic character music. Because the only thing it really does it with is, you know, the professor and whatever, and then, oh wow, that's the end of the video. I didn't even realize it. I was too busy going on a ramble. And annotations don't work, so I can't actually, click on my Escape from Monster Island review. That's really annoying. YouTube, why would you do that? But yeah, so that was the first video I ever made. Look, personally, I think it's awful, and I could do a much better job nowadays than I did back then. But I also have to understand, it was my first video. You know, it was the first video I ever did, so it's not like I really knew what I was doing. I think for a first video, it's pretty good. I mean, I hit all the main points about the show that I wanted to discuss. You know, I had decent editing. I saw a few flaws in there, but I had some gags. I thought originally I wanted to do that rounded sides of the rectangle thing, but that never really saw the light of day because I stopped doing it less than 10 episodes in, I think. But yeah, that was to kind of get around YouTube's copyright. Nowadays, I know how to get around it, so I don't really have to worry about that. But yeah, overall, I'd say it's okay. I'm surprised this thing has 77,000 views, but okay, I guess. And yeah, let's move on to the next video, which is my least favorite video I've ever made. And this thing somehow has over 50,000 views. I don't know why. Maybe people just love making fun of how bad it is, because this is without a doubt the worst video I think I've ever made. Yeah, I'm not being very gracious to myself, but let's just watch this.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Okay, so the video is only 3 seconds in. I literally just quoted the show, for right off the bat. I'm going to be nitpicking my own review, maybe, but I didn't even do an original joke. I literally just quoted the show and said, wait for it, and then here comes the intro right here. That's all it was. That's not creative at all.
Painbow, the 4th episode of the Powerpuff Girls 2016 reboot. I hope you like current trends, because that's all this episode is.
Okay, I disagree. That's not at all what this episode is. There's more to it than just that, but there are definitely current trends in here.
Why don't you check your spell book?
Oh my god. I forgot I added to that. It's funny because every time someone watches this video and I'm on a call with them or whatever, or I'm with them and they're watching the video, right? They always laugh at that because they're like, where did that even come from? And I always forget it's there, but yeah, oh my gosh. Oh my god, I did an Illuminati joke. I did a fucking Illuminati joke. And I put it over the trash can because I was stupid.
And the owner of the rainbow that's mind controlling Townsville.
Okay, so if you guys have seen my top 5 best and worst, I basically redo this entire review in that video, and it's a million times better than this. I can't even call this a review. It's literally just a summary with a few reaction clips. That's all it is. In my top 10, I actually go in and I talk about everything that's important. I talk about the rainbow. I talk about Allegro as a character. I talk about Buttercup's reactions to the situation. I talk about the moral. I talk about all of that. I don't really discuss that in this review.
Can't what? Can't even what? Oh, she literally can't even.
I've seen this maybe 5 dozen times at this point, and it's still painful. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. It's been 3 years. It's been 3 years. I still don't know. I don't get it. I don't get the joke.
This episode will be dated in only a few years, and there's nothing that will make it memorable enough to look past that.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2019, and I can definitely say for sure that the can't even and the OMG Yas and the EDM stuff, the drop joke, all completely outdated. No one makes can't even jokes anymore. Yeah, it just it feels like I'm watching a product of its time.
This review is honestly the hardest one yet for me to make a script for, simply because there was so much shit going on that I really wanted to point out.
It's a 5-minute video. 45 of those seconds are the credits. I just summarized everything. How was it I genuinely wish I could go back and just ask, how was this difficult? Bro, do you even realize the videos you've made since then? Top 5 best and worst. Top 10 shows and movies of 2017. That was a hell to make, and that's why I didn't make a 2018. Yeah, I pretty much still stick with what I say when I say this is the worst video I've ever made. That was awful. I'm sorry. Maybe everybody's their worst critic. You know that saying, probably. That was awful. If I'm being completely honest, I'm really not proud of that one. Oh, and now we've got Horn Sweet Horn, the Donnie episode. Wonderful. Going from one controversial thing to another. Awesome. Can't wait. But yeah, like, oh my god. Freaking. Why am I using the Gangrene Gang theme for this? And yeah, seriously, what? How is he standing there? I have no idea.
So remember it. Also, there's a reference to Dolly Parton for some reason. Back at the girls'
Yeah, I don't understand that Dolly Parton reference. I don't get what the point of it was. Oh yeah, remember back when Bubbles would flip out every single time she didn't get her way? That's one thing I'm glad they kind of dialed back on, because it was a joke that got overused way too much. But yeah, no, I've literally just been reciting it just like Painbow. And that's why I really can't stand my older videos, because it was just summaries. And like I know that I still summarize new episodes, but like I go through the plot as I explain my criticisms, because like I want to let people know what's going on, because I know a lot of people who watch my videos don't necessarily watch the review. So that's the end of Horn Sweet Horn, by the way. Yeah, it was okay, I guess. Not as bad as Painbow, but still not very good. But yeah, no, I just wanted to say, the reason why I summarize my reviews is because I want to help people who don't watch the show understand what's going on, because I know not everyone who watches my videos watches the cartoon. I don't think that my reviews are a complete replacement of the show, but I think they give people a good idea that would help them better understand what's going on. And besides, I can make videos that aren't really summary heavy, and I have done it in the past with like my top 10s and the few, reviews that I've done. But anyways, that was Horn Sweet Horn, better than Painbow, not by much. Let's go on to Bye Bye Bellum. Another episode about controversy. I'm starting to notice a pattern with the videos that you guys have chosen, because every video so far, aside from my first video, has been tied to some type of controversial thing that the reboot has done. But anyway, let's get into Bye Bye Bellum, because this is a topic I haven't really touched nearly as much as like Painbow or Donnie. So let's get into this and see what I said back then.
Oh, you can't be serious.
Okay, well that was a good way to start. I still think this is a really stupid way to write her off. It would have been better if she had gotten promoted or something, like, or gotten a better job.
Anyways, the mayor
And yeah, I don't think that voice gag works, because it's not Bellum's original voice, so like it doesn't work. Yeah, that's one thing I never understood, was the video game references are just kind of forced in there. I mean, yeah, there's the Get Over Here quote, there's the Donkey Kong stuff. Yeah, it just doesn't feel like it really meshed in with the episode that well.
If we were to ignore all of the continuity issues that this one has, I can at least...
There aren't really continuity issues. That's the thing. I call them that, but like, it doesn't break any continuity of the original show.
Then all of the problems with this episode are really only relevant to fans of the old show. So if you know a decent amount about it, then tread carefully around this one.
Yeah, and that's one of its biggest flaws, is again, like a lot of these reboot episodes from the early season 1, it relied on the audience knowing the original. This is a animated series for kids, right? None of the kids who were watching this reboot were alive 20 years ago, 18 years ago when the show came out, to have seen the original. Like, none of the kids, the main audience of this show, know the characters. The only people who do are the people who were kids when the original show was on TV. And that's one of the big things that I use to support my argument that this show was also made with an older audience in mind. They're referencing the old show with the characters, and they don't introduce anyone. It's like they expect you to know it, not to mention, the abracadabra reference, the reference in Wrinklegruff Gals. So clearly there's an adult audience in mind here. And that's why I don't like it when people just shove it out. It's like, it's for kids. Bleh. Don't even waste your time. Like, anyways, that was a tangent that I didn't mean to get on. Let's just move on to the next video. That's 4 down, 6 to go. And now we're looking at the Teen Titans Go Powerpuff Girls 2016 crossover special, which apparently has 100,000 views. I didn't even know that, so that's pretty cool, I guess. But yeah, let's get into this. Mojo looks so good in this Teen Titans Go art style. He looks just like the original. It looks so good. I wish the original show just got a new update. That's all it needed.
Apparently Raven and Starfire cannot, so they chastise him for it.
Oh, and I'm using the Teen Titans song from the Mad Mod episode. K2G, I think it's called. Or Y2G, something like that.
What's wrong with these guys?
I wish this is what the girls normally looked like in their own show.
I do too. They look good. They look good, and I like the more vibrant colors on them. I really do.
Bubbles gets Starfire so frustrated that she fires her eye lasers and Bubbles directs them at the guards. Something about the
I do like this little editing thing I did here where I threw in all three of the girls winning.
Buttercup then goes around destroying all the robotic creations.
I think I had a cool idea going here. I think I could have done a little bit better job with the audio editing and like how it transitions and everything. But overall, I still like what I did there.
Then they give him a beating. Not a very long beating, but a beating nonetheless.
Yeah, and it's better than a lot of the reboot.
Then the Titans flip it back on them and stay.
There's still a lot that I like about this crossover special. Like, I think I could have done a better job explaining all my points than what I did in this video, but I still agree with a lot of the same opinion. Yes, absolutely. I love the girls in this special. We needed these girls in the main series. They felt like the original girls, way more than what the reboot has given us. So like,
Mojo Jojo was pretty alright. His repetitive speech returned for a bit, which is better than just
yes, again, something that was in the original. Mojo uses his Mo-linguish. Like, this special feels like they literally took from the original and inspired it into the and was inspired from the original into this plot versus the reboot, which just looks at the original and says, okay, we're gonna do this but not really, and slap everything together. This special makes the Powerpuff Girls feel way more like the Powerpuff Girls than the actual show, and that's kind of sad. Alright, so Snow Month is a long video, so I'm going to do some skipping around just because I don't want to sit here for the whole 30 minutes. But I am going to discuss and react to the major points of this one because this is my most popular individual episode review. So it definitely does deserve some attention. But again, another controversial episode because every single one that you guys voted for, and I'm not knocking you guys. I mean, I totally understand why these were the ones that were picked. These are the popular episodes. These are some of my more popular videos. So I totally get it. Anyways, let's just get right into Snow Month. Let's just keep going.
Please review Snow Month. Why haven't you reviewed Snow Month? You should review the Snow Month.
Are you gonna review the
Snow Month? Yes, I'm doing Snow Month.
That gag took me an hour to do just by itself. And I remember because so many people would ask me for the longest time, when are you going to do Snow Month? And even after I put the review out, people to this day still make the joke, hey Shadow, when are you going to review Snow Month? You know, it's it's something that's just never died. It's a long running gag. So this is something I also haven't discussed yet, but my original avatar was used, I used the Powerpuff Yourself creator. And it shows because it looks nothing like the new design that I currently have now. Again, super special thanks to Paragon Aura for making these avatars, who I used for a year and a half, almost 2 years. I love the avatar she did. It really tied this review all together as my very first Christmassy video type thing that I did. But yeah, anyways, let's keep going.
I was never not going to do Snow Month. That she begins to sing a lovely song about the beauty of it all. Have a listen.
Oh my god, I forgot I did that too.
Okay, so maybe it didn't go
quite
well, anyway,
I could have set that up a little bit better, but I still thought it was funny.
The birds and the bees until she accidentally bumps into him. No, not him. Him.
Hey, Blossom.
No!
I put a lot of gags in this review. I completely forgot about that. Oh, jeez. Here he is, Jared. Fucky McFuckboy himself. Yeah, you can. Oh my god, I even say it in the video. I'm having too much fun editing. I can clearly see that because I've thrown in so many gags. Oh my god, one of my favorite gags is coming up. I remember this gag. I died when I did this. I'm so excited. Here it is.
You get married and you're together forever and ever 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 and ever.
Oh my god, I remember loving that just because like it synced up perfectly, both the audio and video. Just like it loops perfectly. I could have kept that going for 10 minutes, you know? Oh yeah, jeez, with the Jared fantasies. Ugh. I completely forgot that insert was even in the show. But yeah, there you go. At least I complimented him, I guess. But I completely forgot that insert was there.
But luckily for her, it's snowing in spring.
All right.
Okay, I'm well
so
aware that it's perfectly possible that it could snow during the springtime, but that's not where my qualm lies.
Yeah, and this is something that a lot of people really like got wrong about my review. I've received so many comments on this video, people saying, you do realize it can snow in the springtime. Like, I acknowledge it right here. My issue is not, and I explained this in my revisit with top 5 best and worst. It's not that it's snowing in springtime. It's the fact that the first 2 minutes of the episode establish that it's springtime. And then the episode just does a complete 180 and it's like, all right, we're going to winter now. Like, let's forget everything that was just established. Let's drop it all, throw it away. It doesn't matter. It's not important. We're starting with winter now. It's like, it's complete whiplash. It doesn't make any sense from a storytelling perspective. We don't have we establish one thing and then we go a completely different direction. Like, why? Why are we doing that from a thematic standpoint? Which I admit I didn't really clarify in this video and I could have done a better job with. But that's where I stand. I personally don't think this is a very good way to begin an episode. All right, so there were 2 self-inserts in this episode. I don't know if any other episode has had 2. I mean, there have been moments where like 2 people or 3 people were referenced side by side, but these are 2 separate individual things, you know, the book and then the sign. The sledding sequence, I will still, to this day, defend. I think it is a very fun part of this otherwise dreary episode. I'll take this back. It doesn't need to be a direct word-for-word recital in order to be an homage or a reference, so I think this entire thing can be completely omitted. This is the part where I really talk about the titles lacking pizzazz. This is something I think I also brought up in Electric Buttercup, and this is something that I continue to bring up to, Electric Buttercup, there it is. This is something I continue to bring up to this day. If there's one thing that this show really, really suffers from, it's having very lacking episode titles that aren't very creative at all. Like, I know you shouldn't judge an episode by its title, a book by its cover, but like, typically the title actually relates to the narrative in some way, whether it's literal or figurative. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I want to sit here and I want to go through all these points, but I already redid a lot of them in my top 5 best and worst. I really consider the top 5 best and worst like probably my best work. But no, I really feel like those videos kind of encompass exactly how I feel about Snow Month. So I think I'm just going to skip ahead to Jared and call it, because that's about all I really want to say about Snow Month. Everything else I pretty much feel towards the episode is in that top 5. Jared as a character sucks. I've talked about this in A Star Is Blossom. I wish I had more to say, but I already got my thoughts out with those videos. So like, again, I feel like I'm just repeating my A Star Is Blossom video. Go watch that if you want to hear what I have to say about Jared. Next up is Once Upon a Townsville. Okay. This is another episode that has a lot of controversy. It is still to this day my least favorite episode of the entire reboot. 100%.
Video title, given the fact that I've already reviewed this episode way back in August of 2016. Over the past several months, I've been looking back at the way I handled that review, and if I can be completely honest, I'm not fond of some of the things I had said.
Yeah, and I'm still not fond of the things I said in that original video, but I really wanted to redo this episode because I don't agree with the way I went about the first time, and this new review really strongly encompasses how I feel about the episode, as does the top 5 best and worst, because this also made it in the list. It really annoys me that this episode was nominated for an award because it doesn't deserve it in the slightest. I think for the sake of this video, I'm just going to skip ahead to the 2 parts that I think people really just want to see me react to. So I'm going to skip past most of the episode plot because what really matters is like the final lesson. That's kind of what I fixate on. And I still fixate on to this day because this episode is absolutely atrocious with its final moral. And I stand by everything I say. But before that, I do want to react to this one thing really quick.
You're a princess, that's clear enough. But a princess is better when she's tough. Explosion!
And yeah, it is as bad as I expected. And do they seriously call that beatboxing? And should I even ask why there are random stock images of old people in the background of this sequence?
Yeah, I still don't get it. Why is Buttercup rapping over a stock photo of 2 elderly men playing chess with each other? I think I've seen a comment or 2 saying people were like, well, they're commenting on how old people, you know, they're not, how this gag isn't hip with the times and that it's old because rapping's old and, you know, this isn't what kids like nowadays. And I don't buy that because they could have done a much better job at actually getting that point across than just having Buttercup randomly rapping over stock footage of old people. What's the joke? I don't get it. Like, oh my god, I'm making myself laugh because it doesn't make any sense. It's trying to be funny and it's just like, how do you do, fellow kids? But like, it doesn't even realize that the how do you do, fellow kids thing is a meme.
Bluebell blatantly admits that the girls were right all along, yet she chooses to chastise them for it.
Yeah, okay, so that's completely true. And I go through this point by point, and I explain it in depth with excruciating detail. I feel like there are some points where maybe I got a little too carried away and explain, but I really wanted to hammer it home. This glorifies suicide and makes it look like a joke when it's a very serious topic. I have a very big issue with that. There's the fact that Bluebell completely treats the girls like shit, despite the fact that they were in the right the whole time, and the episode literally paints the girls as if they were wrong.
Because they were saving her life. They knew they were doing the right thing.
Yes, this 100% this.
Because at the end of the day, she didn't wind up buried 6 feet underground.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If the episode had shown the girls saying we were in the right regardless, would have been good.
So at this point, all I can really say is, thank God that's over.
Thank God that's over indeed, because oh man, I am so happy to be done with that. That was a long one. All right, so next up is the Power of 4, and I'm actually going to unfortunately skip over this one entirely because I'm actually going to be reviewing the Bliss episodes really soon at the time of this video's upload, so it's not going to be much longer, so I don't want to just say everything now when I have these reviews on the way. So I hope you guys understand, but I'm going to skip over my Power of 4 first impressions video. All right, so this one was actually quite a shock for me, was my top 9 baseball episodes, because this video, I never expected this video to make it on this reaction list. So I'm genuinely excited to watch this because I have not seen it since it came out, and I'm really curious to see how this went.
Top 9 baseball cartoon episodes. Let's roll.
Okay, so yeah, I remember that. That was an idea I had for an intro. Didn't really work. I dropped it after that because it just wasn't happening. I think my editing on this video really shows. I want to make some more top 10s like this because I'm really proud of my editing. I think I did a very good job with this video's editing, and all my top 10s. I feel like I do a very good job with my editing, and I'd really like to make more. The only problem is they don't tend to really get that much traction, and considering how long they tend to be, I don't. It's hard hard to justify working really, really hard on a video that doesn't pay off, you know? Maybe I have some coming in the near future. Who knows? Who knows, right? I had a lot of fun doing this Toon Sports Week event. It was a very cool experiment that me and my YouTube friends did together, and I'd really like to do another one sometime, because this was really fun. This is still a good episode. It's probably it's a good episode of Ben 10. I really like it. I definitely want to get into Ben 10 some more, because I really remember liking the show when I'd watch it, but I never like sat through the whole series, and I feel like it would be a really fun one to get into. Oh my god, I love how ridiculous this show can get. Like, they stole the freaking Liberty Bell. Like, what even? Oh my god. Okay, this is one of my favorite gags I've ever edited ever. I love this gag. Oh, I love that Cory joke. So good. Ah, Dan Versus. I love Dan Versus. I really want to make another video on Dan Versus sometime, because Dan Versus deserves way more attention than it gets, and I realize I just quoted my video word for word, because it's true. Dan Versus is so good. I really don't watch the Magic School Bus that much. I just remember looking this one up because I knew it was about baseball, and I thought it was pretty interesting how, you know, they didn't do the typical thing that you'd see in like a physics class where it's like the batter hits the ball with the initial velocity at this angle, calculate the distance, that sort of thing. No, it actually talked about friction, which was a really cool way to go about it, because you'd think they'd do that with something like hockey or something, but I really appreciated the way they kind of like switched it up. I thought that was kind of creative. The Sun and Moon anime, I really need to give that a shot, but I haven't really watched the Pokemon anime since Diamond and Pearl. And yeah, I don't know. The designs are like the hardest thing I'm trying to get used to, but this episode I remember genuinely enjoying. Like, I really thought this episode was a lot of fun. And that face kills me all the time. I love that face. So good. Yes, oh my god, I forgot I even talked about Sonic X. Like, oh, this is one of my favorite videos, because like I talk about so many shows that I'd love to talk about, but I've just never done it anywhere else. This episode was one of the reasons why I chose baseball over any other sport. I mean, yeah, baseball is my second favorite sport, but aside from that, I just wanted an excuse to talk about this episode, because oh my god, Sonic X and baseball. Ah, yes, okay, Foster's Home. This is a show that I constantly get requests to talk about because it's made by the same creator of the original Powerpuff Girls, so I really was glad I got to talk about this one as well. This is about baseball cards. Like, they aren't playing baseball, it's about the baseball cards. The baseball cards are a significant component of like baseball fans love the cards, right? And I figured that'd be a perfect tie-in for this topic. I'm you know, because I feel like this would be a curveball. You wouldn't expect this kind of video or this kind of episode in this video, but I feel like it fits perfectly with the way I discuss it and the way I talk about how it fits in. Oh, and Chowder. Yes, I even talk about Chowder. Whoops, I bumped my mic again. I'm so excited. This video, I love this video. And like, as you guys saw, I made 2 videos. I did one collab with Cosmodor, actually, and the other was Schnitzel Makes a Deposit. I want to make more videos on Chowder because a lot of people seem to like them, and I think it deserves more attention. So you know what? I'm gonna make some more Chowder videos in the future, because Chowder is so good, so good. It's so underrated. I say it all the time, but it is. The creativity and the gags from C.H. Greenblatt and his team on this show are phenomenal. Steven Universe. All right, so I think it's okay. I mean, it's not a bad episode in my opinion. I know a lot of people don't like it, and some other people love it. There are so much worse, like Rocknaldo, which is like the go-to one that everyone loves to hate on. But it's a really bad episode. This one's not that bad. Yeah, Homer at the Bat. So this was an episode that when I was looking up baseball episodes, this one was constantly showing up. Like, so many people were like, this episode is amazing. It's a very momentous occasion. It includes a lot of the famous players from the 90s who are in the MLB. As someone who hasn't really watched that much of The Simpsons, I know, shocking, right? I'm not a very big Simpsons fan because I haven't seen it that much. I love this episode. I got all the baseball references. This right here is a reference to The Natural with the tree branch and getting the bat out of it. That is Wonder Bat, a reference to Wonder Boy from The Natural. You know, there's a lot of insight with these baseball references that I absolutely love. A lot of the episodes, sure, they had references to baseball, but this one's ingrained in it, and that's why I put it at number 1, because it is baseball in animation. You know, it is a love letter to baseball. Yeah, so that basically sums up where I stand on my baseball video. I love it. It's, you know, getting to revisit it here and now, it really reminded me how much of a personal favorite of mine this one is. And I'm genuinely glad that you guys voted to have it in the top 10, which means, last but not least, we've got my cover of the Cory in the House theme song. I am not ashamed of this. This is my pride and joy, my magnum opus. I will never top this.
Here we go, I'm the new kid, moving in,
getting it done.
And I'm officially the candidate for having some fun, you know.
You better.
Yeah.
Look, I don't even want to talk over it. Like, it's so good. I feel like I'm ruining it by talking over it. I love it. I even like threw in my laugh right there.
Yeah, it's a party every week.
And I just went and edited my face over every character. Like,
right, I'm in the house.
That part right there where I said in the house, that took me so many attempts to get right because it would kill my throat.
Look out now. Party!
I'm your man. Yeah, I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud of it. Yeah, I guess that wraps up this video. I just want to say thank you guys so much for your, care and support on my YouTube channel for the past 3 years. It truly means a lot to me that you guys are still, here enjoying my Powerpuff Reboot videos. I've got a lot of new and fun and exciting things that I've wanted to make videos on in the works, and I can't wait for you guys to see them. But with that said, I guess I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic night, weekend, evening, whenever you're watching this. And till next time, Shadow Streak signing off.